What's up, guys? The Snowman here, back today to talk about a sport that I've gotten several comments about in prior videos, and that is Gaelic football. So we'll go over all the basics today. What exactly is Gaelic football? We'll talk about the playing field and the equipment. How does the scoring work? We'll go over gameplay rules and much more. It's not a sport that I have a ton of experience with, but one that I'm excited to tackle together.
Gaelic football is an Irish team sport that was first played all the way back in 1885. It's kind of a blend between rugby, football, or soccer, and basketball in terms of gameplay. But how it works is that each team has 15 players on the field at once. That's including 6 forwards, 2 midfielders, 6 backs, and a goalkeeper with 6 usable substitutes per game. The objective is to score more points than the other team, and you can accomplish this by kicking or punching the ball into the other team's goal. That's worth 3 points, or you can kick or punch the ball over the opposing crossbar between the 2 uprights for 1 point. These are the goal posts. We've got a goal area with pretty similar dimensions to a football net, 2.5 meters tall and 6.5 meters wide. Again, 3 points for a goal and then 1 point if you get the ball through the uprights, since that's a bit easier to do. The typical Gaelic field is 85 meters in width and 145 meters long, so about 1.5 times the length of an NFL field if you're familiar with American football. And most adult leagues have matches that are 60 minutes in length. We divide that up into 2 distinct halves of 30 minutes each, and the team with the most points at the end is the winner. If we have a draw and both teams have the same number of points, there isn't extra time or penalty kicks or anything like that. Instead, the game must be replayed in full at a later time. This is our ball, a spherical leather football, pretty similar to a traditional football. In terms of gameplay, players advance the football up the field with a combination of carrying, bouncing, kicking, hand passing, and soloing. If you're not familiar with soloing, one of the major rules in Gaelic football is that you can't take more than 4 steps while carrying the ball. So to get around this, players will complete the act of soloing, which is dropping the ball and toe kicking it back up into your hands like this. You can also take 4 steps and bounce the ball like a basketball. That's another way of resetting your steps, but you can't consecutively bounce. You either have to bounce and then solo in between and then bounce again, or you can just solo the entire time. Soloing is allowed consecutively in between your steps, even for amateurs like myself. I know that seems confusing at first, but the more you watch, the more it becomes secondhand. Just remember that 4 steps is the max you can take before either bouncing, soloing, passing, or kicking the football. And on that same topic, there are several types of technical fouls in Gaelic football, things like traveling in basketball or being offside in football. The first of these fouls is going 5 steps while carrying the ball without releasing, bouncing, or soloing. This will result in the other team receiving possession of the ball. Another foul is bouncing the ball twice in a row. Like I just said before, you can solo continuously but not bounce. It's also illegal to throw the ball, whether you're shooting or passing. It can be hand passed by striking the ball with a fist or a clear striking action, but not thrown like an American football quarterback. You're not allowed to change hands or throw the ball between your hands. You also can't pick the ball up directly off the ground. It has to be scooped up into your hands by your foot. And then we also have several aggressive fouls in the sport, fouls that are physical or verbal, committed against an opponent or the referee. Just like in football, a player can be cautioned by being shown a yellow card. They can also be given a black card where the player is sent off, but another player may replace him or her. And then they can also receive a red card where the player is ejected with no replacement. As far as defending and tackling is concerned, you are allowed to make shoulder-to-shoulder contact with an opponent carrying the ball. You can also use your hands to block shots or knock the ball out of your opponent's grasp. However, these are some things you aren't allowed to do as a defender. These are all fouls. Pulling an opponent's jersey, blocking a shot with your foot, pushing an opponent, slide tackling, tripping is not allowed, touching the goalkeeper when he's inside of the small rectangle, and using both hands to tackle. If any of these fouls occur, then the other team will earn a free kick, which is a restart in play. Typically, free kicks are taken from the spot where the foul took place, or if it happened inside of the 13-meter box, then the free kick will be from the 13-meter line. And one other note for free kicks is that the taker can choose whether to play the ball from out of his own hands or from the ground, but he has to declare it ahead of time. And also, just like in football, Gaelic football has penalty kicks for fouls that deny a clear and obvious goal scoring chance. So in that case, the attacking player will get a free shot from the 13-meter line where only the goalkeeper can protect the net. And one last note as we circle back to scoring, I mentioned it's 3 points for a goal in the net and 1 point for a shot in between the uprights. Well, if you're at a Gaelic football match or watching one on TV, it's important to note that scores are recorded in the format goal total dash point total. So in this example, Dublin has 0 goals and 9 points. That equals 9 points total. Meanwhile, Kerry has 1 goal, which equals 3 points. 3 plus 6 is 9. So in this case, both teams actually have 9 points. That's how you would read a scoreline like this.
And thank you so much for watching my Gaelic Football Explained video. I hope you found it educational or entertaining in any way, shape, or form. If you want more sports content, please subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media. Follow me on Instagram as well, at Snowman Sports. And I'll be back soon with more content. Thanks a lot. Cheers.